Welcome to Warped Drive. This broadcast I'm doing because over the last 3 or 4 days I've encountered an ever increasing situation where people who I'm guessing are new to the GRAN TURISMO franchise, who've recently acquired a PS5 or they've acquired a GRAN TURISMO 7, have been entering in car shows. Which is fine, except they're entering in car shows with cars that have plain paint. So it's cost me a few lobbies because people don't get it, get frustrated. I'm not abusive, I just explain to them why their activity of entering into a car show with plain paint is not only futile, but in fact waste the time of other people in the car show. And that gets me kicked out. And I don't know what it is that they can't quite grasp around this whole concept. So I thought I'd make a video today to make it really clear for all of those brain dead players that are out there in the game, new or otherwise, that think coming into a car show and driving up with a car that's got nothing but plain paint and a set of wheels on it is a livery and is worth showing. So I'm sitting here in a car show, as you can see, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go out there in a car. Favourite engine swap car, I don't think I have an engine swap car, so I'm just going to rock up in the car I'm in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive and have a look at the cars that are there, and I'm going to pose a couple of questions as I do it. And this hopefully will explain why it is absolutely a futile exercise, and in fact it's quite disrespectful to people that do make proper liveries. So I want to start by firstly just spotting a couple of cars that are plain paint, and I want to ask the audience a couple of questions. And for those that do watch this, I want you to please, if you play the game and you go into car shows, I want you to call other people out on this exact thing, because it needs to be done. Sorry, that's my steering wheel vibrating in the background. So here's an example. Here we have a Nissan. I think they're called Fairlady in the US. We call them 300ZXs here. And it's plain cream white, as you can see, with a set of rims on it. Then we have a black Camaro, by the look of it, or a Supra, sorry. I think it's a Supra. No, it's a Nissan Silvia 180SX, sorry, my bad. And then we have a plain black Challenger? Yeah, Challenger by the look of it. Now, my question is this. How long would it take me to leave this room, go into Brand Central, buy that car, or that car, or that car, which may even come in that exact same paint colour, then jump in, select a set of rims, and turn up here in the car show, park next to them, and have the exact same identical car that I created in less than 60 seconds. 1. What is unique about any of those cars? 2. What is it that they have done that nobody else in the game can do, and do so in 60 seconds? 3. If there are 2 of them in the lineup, how the hell do you determine which one looks better? Now, for those people like these guys that think a plain paint car is what you should bring into a car show, I hope you watch this video, and I hope you're sitting there feeling like a real dickhead right now, because then you might realise how stupid you are to think that what you've done is any way unique and is in any way worthy of wasting other people's times in these lobbies showing them your car. Because if we wanted to see that car, we just go and make it ourselves in 60 seconds. It is pointless. Absolutely pointless. Now, a history lesson. Car shows were created several iterations back in this game when you are able to modify the look of the car. And the whole idea of it was that it allowed you to make your car unique. Now, this never really became a big thing until Gran Turismo Sport, when you had ultimate customization when they invented the livery editor. Because when they invented the livery editor and made it available, then you could truly customize your car. Right, now, if somebody wanted to go and make this exact same livery, sure, they could try. They could spend 5-6 hours doing it. But the reality is, they probably won't get it exactly right unless they have photos sitting there. And they do it exactly the same. My point would be, why would you? Which is why, if I can touch on another point, and this is not a criticism of people that create replicas. I get the idea of creating replicas. I get that you have to have design skills. Sorry, I'm going to go faster because my wheel's vibrating ridiculously. But the reality is, you're copying something that's already created. And I get why people do it, and I don't begrudge people doing it. But if you think about it from the perspective of people showing liveries again, a replica is something that anybody else can, funnily enough, replicate. So if I see a Golf Porsche, or a Monster car, or a Hoonigan car, or a Formula One liveried car, I too can go and create that. So whilst it's a reflection of somebody's skill to be able to recreate it, from the point of showing it as a car, you do have to question the viability of showing that car as a custom livery, because it's not really a custom livery, it's a replica livery. And the history behind the livery editor was really for people that create custom liveries that are truly unique. They have been created out of their own mind and their own ideation and put onto a car. And hopefully it's been done in a respectful way that in fact highlights the shape of the car and enhances the appearance of the car. You know, and what I mean by that is you're actually paying respect to the designer of the vehicle itself. Which leads me to another point. Anime on cars. What I find with anime on cars is that the car gets lost. It becomes the background and it ceases to be the focus. And anime, again, as an art form, I have nothing against it. I don't watch it, but I get why people enjoy watching those sorts of shows and the characters and the storylines, no problem. But when you put anime on a car, I would question how you are actually adding anything to the car. It's kind of like saying, hey, look at this billboard that has wheels on it. And it's no longer a car. It's now just a message with wheels on it. And you lose the shape of the car. You lose the design, you lose the curves, you lose all those things. And so, again, I have nothing against people if they want to do it, but if you really stop and think about the idea of a car show. Car, show. Car, meaning the car. Yep. Show, meaning showing the car. Now, if you want to show the car, but there's nothing unique about the car, what is the point of showing it? If you want to show the car, but the car in fact has been lost in the background because of anime, or another type of scenario is it's been sticker bombed, or it's just got so much wrap stuff on it that again you lose the shape of the car and the lines of the car. You know, are you showing the car? So I wanted to make this video because I'm just tired of the number of people that have come into the game, particularly with Gran Turismo 7, that are turning up at car shows with plain paint cars. They are not a livery, they are not unique, they do not reflect that you have shown any skill, any talent, any artistic creativity, nothing. Because anybody in the space of 60 seconds can emulate exactly what you've done, because you haven't actually done anything. It's kind of like going to the supermarket and buying a tomato. You know, a tomato is a tomato, or tomato, depending on where you are in the world. So what's the point? So next time I'm in a car show and somebody makes a comment, when I make a comment about it's plain paint, please watch this video. Or if you can't watch the video, use the thing inside your head called a brain, use some rational thinking, and come to the same logical conclusion that whilst you might love the look of your car because you picked a particular colour paint and you picked a particular type of wheels, fantastic, no problem. Go and drive it to your heart's content in any of the other lobbies, in races or whatever you want to do. But don't turn up in a car show expecting people to give you credit or expecting people to actually evaluate what you've done, because you haven't actually done anything. You know, the car has to have paint on it. The car has to have wheels on it. You've just chosen two options. Whoopie-doo-dah. Where's your... Here, have a medal for picking a paint that you had to pick and picking wheels that you had to pick. Seriously. Okay, so I hope I've made my point. I'm going to turn around and go back now because I want to see what the lineup has this time. Greatest turning circle. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an exercise here. Sorry, that's what happens when you go back to default. I'm going to change car. I don't know what the category is. But I'm going to go down here to cars that I haven't done liveries on yet, which I've done about 200 now in total in the game. So there you go, white GTR, standard rims. Right, here I go. And you know, I'm one of these people, and I'm sitting here going, oh, I hope they like my white GTR with the wheels that I've got on it. You know, I hope they think that it's special because I made it white and I put those wheels on it. And I'm going to park it. I'm going to grab my controller and I'm going to pivot around it. So what do we got in the lineup this time? Let's just have a look. Plain blue Honda, plain red something, plain yellow Honda, plain silver Golf, a white Honda with some fake scoops. And by the way, I'll bring out a ducked car in a minute. Another one with silly things on it, but otherwise plain white, and somebody that's tried at least to do something unique by sticking some stickers on it. So there you go. 2 Civics, 1 blue, 1 yellow. What are you picking? Whether you like yellow or you like blue. That's the only criteria. You can choose between that Honda CRX, I think they are, these things here, that yellow thing, and the blue thing. How else do you pick? Whether you like blue or you like yellow. That's not critical judging of someone's design thinking or design ability. And here I am, in my white, oops, sorry, wrong button, in my white GTR. Look at me, ooh, look at this, look at that, all the effort I've put into it. How unique is that GTR, folks? Certainly deserves to be rewarded, doesn't it? My work and my ability to do what I did needs to be recognised and congratulated. Yeah. Stunned silence, I'm guessing, from anybody watching. But this is what people do. They rock up like this and think, yeah, I hope I get chosen. I hope I get somebody telling me that this is a good car. Now, final thing I want to do is I want to reflect upon a livery that I created today. And I created this livery because, again, in terms of creating liveries, this is where a lot of players get lost as well. There's lots of people that have created all these decals around adding scoops and ducts and vents, and people think, oh yeah, that's livery design. Well, it's not. This is basically 30 minutes worth of work creating what I'm driving right now. Number plate get ducked, because that's the way I feel about it. But all I've done is I've stuck duck decals on the car. Nothing else. I haven't come up with any creative design. I haven't come up with anything that accentuates the shape of the car or the contour of it. I've just stuck these decals on it. And some people go to the similar extremes of doing it, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. It's plain paint. I haven't done anything with the paintwork. And I will do a side-on shot so you can see the writing I put on the side of it. And this is a bit of a protest livery, as I do from time to time, because I don't know how you get people in this game to realise. It's one of those cars that drives on its own, okay? Their failings, and they're not grasping the concept of what livery design is really about. So I made this livery, which is absolutely ridiculous. Got ducks anywhere you can imagine, on the rear bumper, on the C-pillar, ducks next to ducks, multiple ducks on the bonnet. You know, because really it looks ridiculous, and it doesn't make the car look better. You can't tell me this makes this car look better. But all I've done is I've just stuck them on. How is that design? How is that livery design? And as you can see there, I've written inducted, Lazy Livery League, because to me and to many other livery creators who I share this with today, they have the same opinion, that they look ridiculous. And it's not really a sign of creativity. It's a sign of laziness in terms of designing a livery. And again, anybody can do this. Anybody can go into the decal place and go nuts and just copy paste these decals onto the car. No point. Looking at one, that's how absurd this game has become with people not getting. So this is basically taking the piss out of these people that create these ridiculous liveries, and these guys have just given me an award for it. Just goes to show you how wrong this game is at the moment, as far as car shows go. Yeah, there you go. This guy in this Nissan is a classic example. He's got a black bonnet, and then he just sticker bombs the car, and that apparently is a livery. What a joke! What an absolute joke! So, I'm going to end the broadcast here, and I hope that I have some cut through, and I hope that I give all the other real livery creators in the game a bit of intestinal fortitude to not sit in a car show with all these other clowns in their plain paint and not say anything. If we don't say anything as a group, then this will continue, and car shows will end up becoming a waste of time. And I don't want that to happen, and I'm sure the other people that are genuine livery creators don't want it to happen either. We'd like to have our car show preserved for what they are. Otherwise, we might as well give up doing any liveries. And finally somebody just clicked on it. And I'm going to say something to that guy. Because he's just picked up on it. I wasn't even in the right car. Wasn't even in the right car, and the judge gave it to me. This is the caliber of people that are entering into car shows now. And we should all be concerned. This wouldn't have happened. This hardly ever happened in GT Sport. Hardly ever. And if somebody came in a room with plain paint, they pretty quickly realised, or were told, that that they're not in the right place, that they shouldn't be in a car show with a plain paint car. And they left. But people don't. And but nowadays, I don't know what it is. I'm in rooms all the time with other people that I know from Gran Turismo Sport that feel the same way, but they don't say anything. And I don't understand why they don't say anything. They must be as frustrated about it as me, because they spend as much time creating great liveries too, fantastic liveries, and so they must feel the same frustration when they rock up with their 6, 7, 8 hour livery. They get some nong who's the judge, who picks 3 cars with plain paint and says, "Oh, that's fantastic, so clean, you win." Surely they must get as frustrated. But they don't say anything. And if they don't say anything, guess what? Nothing changes. So I really implore all the real livery creators to stand up and not be silent and say what you're thinking, and say it in a rational way. You don't have to be rude. I'm never rude. I just point out the fact to try and educate these people, but they are offended, I should say, because the truth is inconvenient for them, because they are delusional. They do think that picking black paint and sticking black rims on the car makes that a unique car that they should show everyone, and that's delusional. It's not unique, as I've said. So tell them, help them to understand. Say it in a respectful way, but tell them the truth. Anyway, please subscribe to my channel. Please leave a comment, even if you want to argue the point. I'm happy to have the debate with you, because I'm sorry, but your position on plain paint cars being shown in a car show has no logic on the points that I've mentioned. I wish you all a great day. Take care of each other, be nice to one another, respectful to each other. And I will see you next time. This is iflowboy signing off.